This is a tuk-tuk. It's also called an auto rickshaw, and it's still tremendously common transportation throughout many parts of the world, primarily Africa and Asia. Today, I'm reviewing this one, and I'm going to show you all of its quirks and features. Before I get started, big news, this tuk-tuk is currently for sale and it's being auctioned live on Cars and Bids. And this tuk-tuk belongs to Dana White, who runs the Ultimate Fighting Championship and the new Nitro Cross Racing Series. This tuk-tuk is weird and cool and interesting, a rarity in the States, and you can buy it on Cars and Bids with all proceeds going to the Four Oceans charity. So once you finish watching this video, click the link in the description below to visit the live auction for this tuk-tuk, where you can bid on it and buy it only on Cars and Bids. All right, time to examine Dana White's tuk-tuk and go over the quirks and features and the unusual story behind it, starting with, well, a little explanation of exactly what a tuk-tuk is. So, tuk-tuks, they have different names in different places, and they're used all throughout the world, primarily in developing countries that have dense cities and decent weather, because tuk-tuks tend to be open without like doors or sides, and so you want to have pretty decent weather, not be too cold while you're driving or riding around in one. Now, primarily these are used for commercial purposes, so transporting goods or people. They're rarely owned by private individuals who just want to drive a tuk-tuk. Usually they're taxis, so driver sits up front, picks up people in the back, and in fact, in a lot of parts of the world, including Thailand, where I rode in tuk-tuk taxis, they are the only type of taxi. There's no traditional like cars that you hail. It's a tuk-tuk or basically not really much else. But tuk-tuks don't just transport people. Like I said, sometimes goods. There are pickup truck body styles where you can throw a bunch of stuff in the back and then carry things to market or wherever you need without the cost associated with buying a real large size pickup truck with four wheels. Now, as for the name, tuk-tuk, that's what they call them in Thailand, and that name has also been adopted by most people in the United States, and it comes from the sound that they used to make when they had two-stroke engines, tuk 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 tuk, and so they called them tuk-tuks. That's where it comes from, and most people still call them that today. So with that in mind, let's talk about the engine of the tuk-tuk. As you can imagine, it's not exactly high performance. Indeed, these typically use small engines, 350 to 650 cc, right around there, often two-stroke, but sometimes four-stroke like this one, and this has a three-cylinder configuration. Probably makes between 12 and 20 horsepower, somewhere in there, and that's the configuration of most of these Thailand tuk-tuk models. This one is carbureted, I suspect they all are, also air-cooled, as you can imagine. It's a pretty basic engine situation in here without a lot of modern computers and conveniences. It makes sense for the tuk-tuk. So let's talk through tuk-tuk quirks and features, starting up front in the center driver's seat, where you can see that this is really a combination of motorcycle and car, borrowing some from each. You got motorcycle because, well, it has handlebars, for one thing, not a steering wheel, handlebars, and you don't have an accelerator pedal. Instead, you twist the grip on the handlebars like you do in a motorcycle. So in that sense, and you're sitting in the center, it feels very motorcycle-y. Of course, you also have just one single front wheel, which is also a motorcycle-y trait, and the engine is mounted below this blue access panel next to the gear lever in the center, which is also roughly where the engine is placed on motorcycles. So in that sense, it is quite, well, motorcycle, but it is also quite car. For one thing, it has pedals. Even though the accelerator is a grip that you twist, on the left side you have one pedal, and on the right you have another. The left pedal is the clutch, and the right pedal is the brake, which is a bit of a problem in the mind, because you're supposed to clutch with your left foot and brake with your right foot. That's the furthest right thing. Usually you think that's the accelerator, but here it's the brake. So you got motorcycle accelerator, but car clutch and brake. brake. And then in the center, another car item, you have a traditional gear lever that you shift through a gear pattern. And yes, it's right in the middle, directly in front of the seat, which means that you wrap your legs around the gear selector in order to go through the gears. That's how it's done. So you're using the clutch with your left foot, you're using the brake with your right foot, no accelerator with your right foot, that's with your hand, and you're also shifting gears in between your legs. I told you it's kind of a weird combination of motorcycle and car. Now, obviously another more car-like feature in a tuk-tuk is it has a roof and an upright windshield that connects with the roof, so it really feels a little bit more enclosed than a motorcycle. The windshield, interestingly, has a windshield wiper that can, well, wipe off the windshield, which is a nice practical addition. In terms of other tuk-tuk controls, they're pretty much all mounted here to the left of, well, the handlebars. You have 4 unlabeled switches here. The one on the left activates the fuel pump, which you need to get it started. The next 2, one turns on one headlight. But the other one is unlabeled and we can't figure out what it does. Now, you see up front it has 3 headlights. So you're thinking, well, if one turns on one headlight, does the other switch turn on the other headlights? No, that's this switch mounted further up. That turns on the rest of the headlights. So you have one headlight unknown and then another headlight switch elsewhere, which makes a lot of sense. Then next to that you have a little lever that goes left, right. That is your turn signals. That also feels a little bit more motorcycle-y, not a steering column stalk like a car. It's just a switch, and of course they don't self-cancel. Then you have your ignition. Now on the dashboard itself you also have a couple interesting items. I already showed you the headlight control off to the left. You also have lights. These are of course your turn signals reminding you that you've left them on, left and right. You don't have like a little green arrow like in a car, but actual bulbs like exterior turn signals to tell you if you've left on your signals. You also have 2 dials in here. They let you know the status of your battery and your engine temperature. Strangely, they are not center mounted. They're off center just a little bit because tuk-tuk. Now, also in this vicinity, you have the button that is the most convenient to the driver, and that would be this one here, mounted on the handlebars, the horn, which makes sense if you've spent time in Thailand, that the horn is the most convenient button to the driver. They honk it all the time to let people know you're coming, or you're here, or just to basically say hi. Now, also in this vicinity, in the driver's cockpit area, you can see the battery mounted here to the left of the seat. Again, this is all very basic and bare bones. You don't have some nice thing covering up the battery or it's hidden out of sight. It is sitting right next to you while you drive along at all times and exposed to the elements, except that it's sort of under the roof. That's a high quality battery placement. Now, if you want to access the engine, like I mentioned before, it's under this blue panel that basically goes around the shift lever. You pull that off and you get to the engine. You can see it here. Here's your 3-cylinder engine to power the tuk-tuk, maybe around 20 horsepower. Interestingly, this blue panel that's around the gear lever, basically the engine cover, is held in place by the seat cushion. The seat cushion creates just enough force to keep the engine cover where it's supposed to be. When you remove the seat cushion, only then does the engine cover become loose and you can take it off. So instead of like a latch or a button that you push or a lever that you pull, you just remove your seat cushion and then your engine cover is loose and you can open it. By the way, looking around this interior, one other thing you'll notice, there is no parking brake. Like I said, this is basic, simple, bare bones. If you want to keep this thing from rolling away when you park it, you gotta put blocks on the tire. That's the only way. No real parking brake in the tuk-tuk. Very simple. And next up, we move on to the back of this tuk-tuk, which as you can see is configured for carrying passengers like a taxi. The driver's up front and you sit back and relax and enjoy your tuk-tuk ride in the back. Now, this particular tuk-tuk is a little more ornate than most, with these chrome railings going all around the sides. As you can see, most tuk-tuks are pretty basic and bare bones, just like how they're built, and they don't usually have this stuff, although some are decked out in a fun way. This tuk-tuk also has this multicolored bench seat, as you can see, a little rainbow flare that again you don't usually see in tuk-tuks in Thailand designed for carrying passengers, although sometimes you do, but this one is a little more exciting than most. Now, one thing you will notice is that this tuk-tuk only has one entry point over here on the left side, which is because traffic in Thailand drives on the left side. Right-hand drive cars on the left side, so you would enter enter and exit from the curbside, the sidewalk, which is over here on the left. Now, this particular tuk-tuk's modifications and upgrades that go further than just the multicolor seat and the chrome railings. There's some other cool stuff that were added to this one to make it stand out from the regular. The back wheels are probably the best example. You have 16-inch rear wheels that look like sporty and performance-y, almost like what you'd see on a modified Civic, except this is a tuk-tuk. And undoubtedly, these are the sportiest wheels ever seen on any tuk-tuk in Thailand. You also have back here an aftermarket exhaust. As you can see, it is, well, larger than normal. It really wakes up that 3-cylinder, 20-horsepower engine with its bigger outflows and gives you a real nice, meaty sound from your tuk-tuk. Also back here, you can see a couple of other interesting things. One, there's a tailgate. If you unlatch this metal latch, you can drop this down and actually have a little cargo area behind the seats where you can put stuff. I never knew that tuk-tuks had a trunk, but indeed this one does. In the back, you also have high-quality mud flaps. How do I know they're high quality? Because it says on them that they are high-quality tuk-tuk mud flaps, and high is spelled like hello instead of H-I-G-H, high quality, but that's what you get from your tuk-tuk mud flap supplier. Now, around the back side of the tuk-tuk, you will also notice there is a little fuel filler cap back here. You twist this off, and this is where you add fuel to your tuk-tuk. That's another way. This is a little more like a car than like a motorcycle. And by the way, speaking of fuel, you might be wondering, why is this thing not electric? It's like the size of a golf cart. They're doing little taxi runs in dense cities. Seems like an obvious candidate for electric power, and indeed it does. And indeed that's coming. There are companies that have started to make electric tuk-tuks. Same basic design, 3 wheels, single seat up front, taxi in back, but electric instead of gas powered, which seems like it makes sense. These are heavy polluters, as you can imagine. They're not exactly the most efficient engines, and an electric tuk-tuk seems like the future in a lot of these countries that still use them. So I suspect they will sweep Asia and Africa with their plug-in-ness. But for now, we have this little tucking along with its little gas engine. Okay, next up, we're going to talk tuk-tuk and some other things with Dana White, this vehicle's rather unfortunate owner. No, first off, I think the question everybody's going to want to know is why do you, of all people, have a tuk-tuk in America?
We basically have our own network called UFC Fight Pass, and we take a lot of smaller organizations from around the world and put them on the network, and we do Muay Thai out of Thailand. So I got this from a guy in Thailand.
Okay, and it came here, and now it's here.
Yeah, it was delivered, and it's been sitting here for a couple of years down here in the garage.
Now it's time to maybe move it along.
Yeah, I haven't driven it once or anything. But I mean, for somebody who's into this, I guess this would be pretty cool.
Kind of cool, right. You're into motorsport, obviously. Tell me about Nitrocross.
Me and Lorenzo Fertitta own a company called Thrill One. He was my original partner in the UFC. Ridiculousness on MTV, SLS Skate League, Nitro Circus, and basically this is Travis Pastrana's Nitrocross. This was thought up and created by Travis Pastrana, and you know it's electric cars that actually fly, do jumps, they can bump, they can do all the fun things that you don't see in normal racing.
Yeah, these Nitrocross cars seem really cool. How much power do they have?
Yeah, they're over 1,000 horsepower. I mean, these things move, and you know, with electric cars, the 0 to whatever is exactly.
Instant. It just hits it.
And they have huge jumps that they jump. The cars literally fly. It's fun.
It's a spectacle. Something that surprised me, you yourself are obviously like a car enthusiast. I was surprised as you got a gated manual F430 over there. That's a serious car.
I also have, up at my house in Maine, I have a 1989 Testarossa too.
No way. How long you had that?
God, 10 years easily.
You drive it a lot?
Yeah, when I'm up there, I do.
You're in there in summer, I assume?
Yeah.
How do people in Maine react to this?
Oh, people love it. You know, you don't see a lot of Ferraris up in Maine where I'm at, so.
No, I bet you don't.
It's
pickup trucks.
It's fun to drive.
What else you got? There's what is this? This is an 812 and this is an F8. What else you got?
Here's the thing about me with cars. I like cars and I buy cars, but I don't know a lot about cars. You know what I mean? If you ask me, what's the horsepower on this? I have no fucking idea. I have a 1969 Chevy Camaro. And I just got I actually got it at the Barrett-Jackson, was the Judge.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, the
Judge.
GTO. Yeah. And it's like, the Judge it's original everything, like the sticker is still in the window from when they bought it. I mean, it's
that's awesome.
Put together.
I also have a lot of fun cars, although I noticed that driving around regularly, I just want to be comfortable now
Yep.
as I get older. What is your daily driver con?
Yeah, the super fast.
You're legit. You're like taking that out every day.
I drive this every day. I either drive this one or this one every day. This one, the seats aren't as comfortable, but this is a motherfucking race car. Okay, this thing is, that's called the super fast, but this is super fast. I mean, it's night and day between these two cars. That car is more of a comfort car. It's comfortable, you can drive every day. This thing is, so there has to be, no exaggeration, 15 pictures of me getting pulled over on the freeway on this thing. I've been pulled over like 15 times.
Nevada Highway Patrol knows
100%.
Oh, it's this guy again. What is the Testarossa? I mean, Testarossas are hard cars to drive. You ever get in that thing and you're like,
oh yeah,
what am I doing with this?
The thing is, when you get, so if you grew up when I grew up in the 80s, the Testarossa was it.
Yeah,
you know
totally.
what I mean? It was the car. But when you actually get in it, it's tiny and the pedals are really close together. It's not an easy car to drive, but it's fun. It's fun to drive every once in a while in the summer.
And all of these cars are more fun than the tuk-tuk.
I don't know. The tuk-tuk could be fun if you got the guy that's into driving the tuk-tuk, but yeah,
It is a kick in the face, I'll tell you that.
The tuk-tuk is a car, I don't know if it's a car, it's a vehicle that you don't ever see in America. You don't see these around. It's very unique, and it's got to be pretty expensive to ship over from Thailand. So.
Right.
Yeah.
And this one was owned by Dana White. You can go around telling people, I got Dana White's tuk-tuk.
Yeah, my tuk-tuk from Thailand.
Well, thank you. Thanks for letting me come out here and review.
It's literally got 0 miles on it. I've never driven it.
We don't know. Who knows what it was doing before? It probably drove people around for 25 years.
Who knows what happened before it got to America, but I can tell you this, been driven 0 since it got, he just took a lap around the parking lot.
1 mile.
Yeah.
That's it.
Nobody's ever driven this thing here.
All right, well, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Woohoo! Okay, driving the tuk-tuk. This is an absolutely terrifying experience in every way. Okay, the gear selector is inexplicably in between my legs in the middle. And so, and the seating position and my height is awful. My knees are bent way back and it's absurd. Oh God, there's a truck. Please see me. Okay, I'm gonna attempt a gear change. Clutch in. I did it! I changed gear! Okay, so now I'm in second. It's riding better. One thing I'm anxious about is rolling over. It may not roll over, but I don't know. I don't know what this thing's limits and capabilities are. I was told that first and second are great. Third, you'll find it eventually. It's so funny, now that I'm driving this, I truly cannot believe I ever got on one of these in Thailand. Like, what? This is terrifying. It's terrifying to drive. It's terrifying to coexist with. The seating position is awful. I can't believe these drivers do it. Obviously, most people in Thailand, most Thai people, are smaller than I am. But like, my legs are way out. My knees are way pushed out, and the gear selector is in the middle. And the thing is, it's carbureted, and the way it's tuned, you basically have to be on the throttle a little bit or else it'll die. And so I have to shift gears with my left hand because I got to stay on the throttle with my right hand. It's actually kind of a charming little experience. One of these that's electric, which my understanding is they're starting to make them, I think would actually be sort of cool. The gas component, which is like keeping my hand on the throttle so it doesn't die and shifting gears, that makes it sketchier for sure. I'm gonna go for third. I was told third's hard to find, but you know what? I've driven a lot of cars. I'll find third. Oh, didn't find it. Oh, no, no, I'm in neutral. Back to second. This is so stupid. But it's a great party trick in a ridiculous little vehicle. Just a hilarious little thing. Not ideal for anybody who is tall or big. Although if I sit up, my head is just fine. It's really my legs are just jammed in here. People ask me how I fit in the Countach. You should see this thing. Man, this is just hilarious. If any vehicle needed to have a manual transmission left, it's this. The clutch and brake are on opposite sides. I haven't used the brake yet. I can barely reach it with my foot because I have to bend so far back and then push it all the way forward to get to it. It's like a disaster. So I'm just kind of using the clutch to slow me down and getting off the accelerator more, and that's how I'm doing it. You know, I'm getting the hang of it. It's not so bad. Would I drive it on a street? I'm not really sure. But is it fun? Yeah, kinda. It's charming. Hell yeah! This thing apparently can go up to 40 40 miles an hour. I cannot imagine a more dangerous experience in my life than going 40 in this ridiculous contraption. I'm going like 9, and I'm afraid at every turn that I'm gonna fall out. At 9! What is this thing? What have I gotten myself into? How did I end up reviewing a tuk-tuk with Dana White? Where is my life gone? I need third. I need it. It needs it. It's singing for me. Please, give me third, it says. Oh no, I killed it. Yeah! I found third! I killed it, but I found third! Oh God, now I need to slow down. I don't know what I just did. Oh, killed it again, and now I can't find first. Okay, found first. Starting it up. We're good. Oh, I just pinched myself on the shifter. Oh, and it's dead again. That was quite an experience of insanity. I mean, it's hilarious, but wow. What a vehicle. For better or worse, what a vehicle. And so, that's a tuk-tuk. Not just a tuk-tuk, but Dana White's bizarrely modified and interesting tuk-tuk that you can buy on Cars and Bids, with all proceeds going to the Four Oceans charity. And now it's time to give this tuk-tuk a Doug score. And the Doug score is here, 23 out of 100, placing the tuk-tuk dead last among all cars I've ever reviewed, ever. It's worse than the BMW Isetta, worse than the Trabant, even worse than the meter-made car. With that said, it's charming and surprisingly fun to drive, and the proceeds from its sale are going to a good cause. I was actually more charmed by the tuk-tuk than I expected, though in the US it's certainly more of a curiosity than any form of rational human transportation.